Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Today, record review. This is dripping with nostalgia, so I apologize. I recently started following Eliot Easton on Facebook, and a lot of his posts. He is a great guitar player, but he's important to me for two reasons, actually. The main one being he is a founding member of the Cars. I grew up in Newton, Mass, born in the 60s, growing up in the 70s. So the Cars are the hometown heroes. Cats are wrestling. And the second one is a weirder one, but let's stick with that first one. So the Cars, the album I'm going to talk about is just called The Cars. Debut album, amazing debut album, legend, and Rick Ocasek, he's the band leader. He always considered the Cars his band. He notoriously essentially took all of the songwriting credits, leaving the rest of the band with very little residual income after the band essentially after they broke up. And there is no question that he can write an extremely hooky tune. But my argument is that the Cars would absolutely not be what they were if not for the huge contributions of Eliot Easton on guitar and David Robinson on drums. Those two guys, in my opinion, made the Cars the Cars. Eliot Easton, masterful guitar playing, these effortless guitar licks, they absolutely penetrate into your mind. In many ways, they don't dominate the feel of the songs, but they prevent the songs from being lighter, synthy, washy material. Very catchy, just amazing riffs. And Robinson on drums from the legendary Modern Lovers, Jonathan Richman band, also in Boston. David Robinson's drumming, his big, weighty tom fills and punches, again, just gave this fundamental rock foundation to these otherwise quirky, maybe sugary pop tunes. Maybe that's being too harsh on the tunes themselves. Anyway, in my opinion, it's never better than it is with that first record. So this record came out when I must have been in middle school, 1978. I think at least they were rehearsing in Newton, Mass, literally in my hometown, outside of Boston. Rick Ocasek lived in Newton. I actually, one of my high school jobs was working at Newton Center Music Shop, and I sold Rick Ocasek a set of guitar strings. I met Rick Ocasek twice, once then and then once far later in the early 90s at an MTV Music Video Awards after party. I told him that I had sold him guitar strings at Newton Center Music Store, and both times he was incredibly sweet, like very, very nice, as tall as me, and very, very gracious, very sweet guy. But in middle school, the Cars they are part of my soundtrack growing up. This album and Candio in particular. Candio followed the year after this came out, and they were part of our soundtrack. We would hang out together at the lunch table, and on a later record there was a song called "Give Me Some Slack," and there was a beautiful girl at our high school called Jennifer Slack, and that was something that just made so much sense to us. Really, just a fundamental part. This must have been still in middle school. The very first rock concert I was ever going to go to, but didn't, was the Cars, and I had plans. I got tickets. I got 2 tickets. I was going to go. No, this was high school. This would have been early high school. So 1980 maybe, 81 maybe. I got a pair of tickets, and I was going to go with my much older girlfriend, and I got sick. I was in bed with the flu, so it was legitimately couldn't go, and I'm sure it was also partly nerves. I was a little overwhelmed going to Boston. Must have been Boston Garden. I don't think it was. It wouldn't have been Orpheum. It would have been the. It was easy. It was either Orpheum or Garden. It was probably the Garden. Anyway, I gave the 2 tickets to my much older girlfriend. She went with someone else and brought me back one of those 3/4 sleeve baseball shirts with the Cars on it. So they would have been my first rock concert. Alas, it wasn't. Anyway, Eliot Easton. Oh, another weird thing about Eliot Easton. For some reason, Eliot Easton became the name that I would throw out there whenever, for whatever reason, if you need to come up with a name that's not your own, you're being introduced to someone at a party that you don't want to know. There are any number of reasons that I don't want to discuss for maybe giving out a wrong name. And Eliot Easton was always my default alias name. It was my default name to give out to someone who I didn't want them to know my real name. Weirdly enough. And it remains so to this day. And I think it partly is because it just rolls off the tongue. Partly because I knew it was sort of in my head. So I knew that if I introduced myself as Eliot Easton and then sometime later in that evening, someone was like, "Yo, Elliot," I would turn. I wouldn't give it away. I don't know. For whatever reason, Eliot Easton became my undercover name. Weird but true. Anyway, great record. Thank you for allowing me to wax nostalgic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.
Blue, you shot me in a sense.